All right, let's get it going for today. June 3rd, we back. All right, let's get this going. Waiting for YouTube here. Receiving your content. All right. So, all right, guys, it's June 3rd, 2018. I'm going to talk about a variety of topics. Obviously, some big news in the world of The Walking Dead as of Tuesday. It's just crazy to think that it's June 3rd. We got 4 months, and so much stuff has happened and come out about season 9, and it's crazy. So, spoiler warning, obviously. I want to make sure that if you're worried about spoilers, stop watching now. What's up, Tutor? You are awesome as well. So just going to wait for some people to get rolling in here. On this Sunday, June 3rd, we got Fear the Walking Dead coming back tonight after a week off, which is kind of like, did it really need to be off? Not really. Not sure if The Walking Dead will last forever, but we'll talk about a variety of things on this stream. So post your comments and questions in there too. So what's up, Tutor, Big Sexy, Carol? Thank you guys for joining me. Mike, Boyd, you guys are awesome for joining me this Sunday. Of course, I appreciate it. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the news. Like I said, if you're watching this after the fact, hey Janet, just don't want to ruin anything for you. So it's a live stream, so I don't know if you're going to come into it, but if you're watching it after the live stream is completed, spoiler warning for some things. So some news about The Walking Dead season 9 has come out, and the big news obviously is about Andrew Lincoln. And I think it's true. I don't know any reason why it wouldn't be. I think that it would make sense for the articles to come out if it was true. If it wasn't true, could they get into a lot of trouble? I would think so, but there had to be a source that has come out that they would have, that the source would be confirmed that Andrew Lincoln is leaving. But it sucks. I think they knew about it. Comicbook.com, I think, has said that they knew about it, and they really didn't want to go on there too. So I'm going to talk about that. Fear the Walking Dead comes back tonight. Yeah, I'm hoping John lives. I think he does live. I don't see him dying. I hope he lives and moves on from this episode. Episode 7. We got episode 7 and 8, and then I think we take another break, and then it's going to be back for the last 8 episodes. And, I mean, I didn't miss Fear the Walking Dead on Sunday. Last Sunday, there was other stuff going on, and that's okay that it wasn't. But it just kind of sucked that we didn't have Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, because I do like watching Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm excited to see what happens. Also, yes, Tutor, issue 180 comes out this Wednesday. That's the last part of the New World Order storyline, so the Commonwealth, and we'll see what happens setting up for the next storyline from it. Big stuff should be happening this issue for The Walking Dead, issue 180. And it's the summer. It's just crazy to think that it's June 3rd and we have all this information coming out about The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, so season 9, the comic stuff. Next month is the Comic-Con at San Diego in July. It's just crazy to think that usually the summer is slow for Walking Dead news. Yeah, we get some spoiler information and we post it and it comes out and we're there too. But it's just crazy to think of it. So yeah, that's crazy. Rick, mother, great name there. But yeah, 6 episodes is the word for Rick, but it's also the word for Maggie. So what's up with that? How is it exactly the same amount of episodes for them? Did they just figure that, okay, they're going to make so much money that we can budget 6 episodes? I mean, I don't know how much they're making. $1 million an episode? So they're like, all right, they'll get 6 episodes. They'll budget for $6 million of 2 cast members. And then what? We'll see if they get phased out. We'll see what happens with Hilltop. Alexandria has a bunch of people there that can run things. But Hilltop, who do they have? I mean, Gregory's going to be on his way out. We should know that about that right away. So if Gregory's gone, which I wouldn't want Gregory to take over anyway, Jesus is not a leader. He said that he doesn't want to lead. He's just, he just does things, and he doesn't want to be the main person in charge. Enid, she's this little high school kid. Is she going to run a Hilltop? I don't know. Birdie, someone else, Jerry, Ezekiel, Carol. Like, Ezekiel's got to run the kingdom. Carol run the hilltop. Rosita, Tara. You know, I mean, I'm just not sure how it's going to happen. So we'll see. And I'm excited to find out. I know a lot of people are giving up on the season already, and we haven't even seen any of it. People are like, if Rick goes, I go. Well, I understand the sentiment with that, but I don't agree with it. I don't understand why people would just give up on a show, and we haven't even seen it. It could actually be pretty good. I doubt it would be better, but it could be worth watching. It could make sense for it too. So, yeah. So if Andrew makes $900,000 per episode, you know, his last season, he could be making over $1 million an episode. Which, money aside, it just sucks that the actor is going to go away. So hopefully Andrew Lincoln will make a note of it. They will make sense of it. That we'll know why Andrew Lincoln is leaving. What's the plan for that? How did they know? When did they know? Because I doubt Andrew Lincoln was dropping a bomb on them when season 9 started to film. And he's like, all right, guys, I'm done. I just can't do it. He probably had the big talk with Gimple, Kirkman, Angela Kang, and season 8 into season 9, maybe over the summer, maybe when he found out about the Carl news or after a couple episodes or something. But hopefully stuff will come out when, how he's leaving, why he's leaving, if Lauren Cohan's leaving as well. But again, it's going to be big. Season 9 is going to be huge. A lot of people are going to watch. Regardless of what people say, people will watch and they want to see how, when, why Rick Grimes leaves. And if he has a chance to come back. People need to know so they can bash it. They can accept it. They can cry about it. They can complain about it. They can move on from it. They can just see it, be a part of it. But no matter what or how Andrew Lincoln leaves or Rick Grimes dies or if he leaves or if he takes Judith and runs, you know, he takes the orange backpack and takes Judith and they leave Alexandria or something, you know, who knows. But a lot of people have been saying that he has Judith too. But, you know, Andrew Lincoln might be mad that Chandler Riggs isn't there, that he was supposed to take over the show. So Andrew Lincoln could want to leave because of that. Or he just wants to see his real family. Or he wants to do something else or take a break and actually be in London for more than half the year. Maybe film some movies over there or maybe just take a break. So, exactly. Andrew Lincoln can leave why, when, and how he wants to. And I can't fault him for that. It just sucks because I'm going to miss the character. I like the connection with it. He's definitely the lead, and we'll see how it works out. So, hey, Brian, how would you like Rick to die? I don't know. I don't know if it's good for him to go. I don't want him to die by a walker bite like Carl and he shoots himself. And I don't know if I'd want to see Rick Grimes become a walker. That would be kind of tough to see. Do I want him to die by the Whispers and by Alpha or by Beta or something like that? Maybe if it introduces Beta and Alpha and that kind of builds on the show to build after the fact. Because you don't want it to stall out with Rick Grimes. There's no plateau. There would be a plateau of the show if Rick Grimes dies without anything setting up for the later part of the season and the series. So it kind of would have to be connected with the next bad group, which is the Whispers. Would Negan take him out? Would Alpha? Would Beta? Would he get Ezekiel or Rosita's death? Maybe, but we'll see what they want to do. I just hope his death, or if he leaves, he could not die, but I would want his exit to build for the show, not just cause it to be like, well, what do we do now? It's gone. Maybe his death starts the Whisperer War. And I think season 9 sounds like it's going to be expedited a little bit because the way it's going is that Andrew Lincoln is going to have 6 episodes and Lauren Cohan is going to have 6 episodes. And that's not in the comics. That's not going to help anything. But stuff may happen a little quicker, like the Gregory death, or maybe the Whispers come around a little sooner. Because by my account, the Whispers should come around the middle part of the first half of season 9, and then the big bads of Alpha and Beta would be seen in the second half, because they'll get introduced a little bit, but it might be sped up with it. We'll see how Anne plays a factor, and just what happens with the characters that are still there. Because with, Maggie going, Lauren Cohan, seems to be out, but a lot of people are saying that she's going to be gone. And then Carol has a season 9 contract, and Denai has a contract. That's it. And maybe they only have season 9 contracts, and maybe Norman's the only one that has a contract beyond it. And a lot of people are saying that Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon can't lead the show. And I partially agree with that. I don't think he can be the main star, but he can be a star on the show for sure. I think that he can be a part of the main people. I would love for him to be top 4. Maybe Carol, Daryl, Michonne, Ezekiel, Jerry. We got some characters like that still going around. Rosita even, Tara, Aaron. So if Aaron stepped it up, had more of a part, Jesus needs to step up big time. Carol can keep doing what she does. Ezekiel can stay alive. Daryl needs to be the ways of back in the day, getting stuff done and not being so crazy that his actions are causing people to get hurt. So I would like just to see the show to make sense. Now, maybe they're setting it up already. I talked about it in a couple of videos, like the difference between Daryl and Rick. Daryl wanted to kill all the Saviors. Rick wanted to save them. What was the right cause of action? Maybe the Saviors take out Rick. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe the Saviors still have a problem with Rick Grimes and Alexandria, and maybe that gets Rick killed. Or maybe Negan escapes and kills Rick instead of, the whole Whisper Alpha connection with Negan. That could happen for sure. Negan is definitely a factor that is the unknown right now because he's going to be locked up in a jail cell and they can mix things up. And I say it time and time again, the show is the show and the comic is the comic. 2 separate things. They take tangents, but they usually come back around for major plot lines, maybe with a little twist here and there. But Rick leaving throws a big monkey wrench, especially without having Carl as a backup plan. But yeah, I agree, Mega Dr. Dre. Rick doesn't need to die. I hope he doesn't die, but how would he just leave and why would he just leave? Is he going to go on the boat trip? Is he going to be on the pirate escapade with Oceanside? Maybe he goes away for a while. He's leaving, but does he have the possibility of coming back? I would love to see it too. So, yeah, there's a lot of good people left. Tudor, exactly. All those people. Jesus, Rosita, Ezekiel, Aaron, Enid, Jerry, I love characters like that. Maybe we get a new character here and there that steals the show. We don't have a Jerry from the comic, a Daryl Dixon from the comic, an Enid from the comic. Certain people are there, and yeah, they have attributes from people from the show. Maybe Heath comes back, and he's awesome. Maybe Sherry comes back, and she does some crazy things. Dwight. Maybe the Whisperers are kind of crazy. Maybe they take little things. They can work. I'm not giving up on the show just yet, especially with the reports over the summer. We haven't even seen any of the episodes yet. And I know everybody in this chat and everybody watching right now will watch. Your ride or die for The Walking Dead, and hopefully The Walking Dead news and the PT channels. And I appreciate that, and I'm sure the show does too. But it's kind of crazy that the cinematographer, camera guy for The Walking Dead posted that picture of him and Andrew Lincoln back in season 4 and saying that Andrew Lincoln's going to be missed and we love him, he's a great friend, and that. And then it got taken down. So that means you got to confirm it that he's leaving. Somebody from The Walking Dead was probably like, oh, you got to take that down now or you get in trouble. And hopefully he didn't get in trouble, but we'll see what happens because you don't want people to lose their jobs for this. You want people just to be able to express themselves and feel like, oh, it's a shame. And maybe he heard the information and he jumped on the gun to say goodbye. And maybe he doesn't know anything at all. That could happen too. So, Kelly, I hope that John lives tonight. I believe so. That would be pretty crappy. I think John lives and I think Mel dies is what people are saying. So we'll see what happens with the Vultures. And what we kind of see is that the Vultures may be decent people. They may not be actually the villains. So we'll see what happens tonight in Fear the Walking Dead, episode 407. And I'm kind of interested to see what happens. I'm probably going to watch a little of the NBA Finals as well. And I'll probably go back and forth of it. We got the TWD rewards points tonight. You got to get the points for the episode and then the Talking Dead. And then the stuff to watch from their from the episodes, the sneak peeks and stuff for next week's on there too. So It's something that came up was that John Dory can survive, hopefully, and he can come to The Walking Dead and be Rick's replacement. Yeah, M King, go Warriors. I agree. Go Warriors for sure. Steph Curry. But I think that I would love for John, Morgan, and Althea to leave Texas and go back to Virginia. As crazy as that would be, it would be weird because the Morgan left to come back, and maybe there's a time jump, so he was gone for a couple years and then decided to come back. That could happen, and I would like for that to see too. I would love to see that. And it would kind of be weird to see Morgan come back to The Walking Dead without Rick, and for Rick to go away without saying goodbye to Morgan, because it was kind of the role reverse at the very beginning, and that would kind of suck too. So at Comic-Con, Walking Dead will be the #1 topic. It will kill off Game of Thrones and the Avengers. Yeah, exactly. Bradford Loveby, that is definitely... The Walking Dead always steals the show. Their panels, their trailer is big. But Game of Thrones is going to be huge too, and Avengers. It's going to be neck and neck for all that stuff. Who's going to be the top topic to talk about? I'm excited about... 2019 looks to be a tough year for movies and pop culture stuff and entertainment, because 2019, if Rick goes into the second half, we have the second half of season 9, which is going to be the end of Rick Grimes, potentially. Game of Thrones ends. Avengers 4, which we're going to lose some characters. And then the last Star Wars movie of this trilogy before the next trilogy starts. So that's 4 huge things. That would be kind of crazy for it, too. So, can you name any shows that survived after the lead left? Protected Line, great question. Not really off the top of my head. I don't really think of any shows where the lead left and the show wasn't canceled, or the show wasn't canceled or turned off before the lead was still there. Fear the Walking Dead, I don't know if you're considering Nick to be the main lead, or if it's Madison, or if it's both. But Nick's going to be gone, and Fear the Walking Dead looks to be better. Madison should hopefully leave, and it could be okay. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. But that's a good question. I don't know of any shows where the lead left, because the main shows, the main characters are there, but they also not sure what show has been around for 9 seasons. That's kind of a niche show like The Walking Dead. So there's a lot of things against it that really you can't really speak for them too. So do you think Madison would be killed by the mid-season finale, Janet? Don't know. I can only hope so. That means it probably won't happen, because I don't want Madison to be on the show anymore. If they got rid of Madison and Nick and they left Morgan, John, Althea, Naomi, and Alicia and Strand and whoever survives, I would be okay with that. I would really be okay with that. I think Madison brings down the show for me and a lot of people, and we'll see. We'll see what happens too. So, yeah. That would be funny if they did a parody of Andrew Lincoln, like he's talking to Robert Kirkman and he's like, "I don't feel so good," and he's like, "Boo," gets dust flies away like that too. So I'm excited for The Walking Dead season 9. I know there's a lot of stuff, and it's just crazy that we know that Andrew Lincoln's leaving. It had to be leaked for a reason, to get us ready for it, right? It had to be ready, had to get us ready for the fact that it's going to happen. I doubt it would be leaked if it wasn't, because a lot of stuff that's come out from various sites has been true. Abraham and Glenn and the whole thing with Carl are big things that jump out at me that were true. People couldn't believe that they were going to kill Abe and Glenn, and people couldn't believe that Carl was going to get killed off. Both things happened. We'll see what happens, what the reports are, when and how Andrew Lincoln leaves. Does he leave alive and well with the chance to come back, or does he get killed off? We just don't know. I'm interested to find out, and I know everybody that watches the show is excited to see season 9, but also kind of wary if it's going to work out, if it's going to make sense or not too. And that's all I want it to be, is make sense, because Andrew Lincoln is a big part of The Walking Dead, but is he your favorite character? I was talking about this with my wife. Michonne is my favorite character. I love Rick, don't get me wrong. He is the centerpiece for the show. I was talking about it with other shows. You have a main character like Jerry Seinfeld. You may like Seinfeld, but my favorite character growing up was Kramer. As I watch it now, it's actually George. You like Putty, you like Newman, you like the parents, you like this. You like all these people in there. Do you really care about Jerry? Now, if he left, you wouldn't have a Seinfeld show on that too. But sometimes the main character is not your favorite character too. So we'll see how it plays out. Just a thing, figure through too. In The Sopranos, Tony Soprano, main character. But my favorite characters were Silvio and Paulie and all the secondary characters for that too. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for the show, and I'm interested to see what happens. It's just something that's unwritten. So many things that on the show are so different, which is kind of interesting. And maybe it falls flat, and maybe it fails. But I don't think season 9 is the last season. I think if anything, we have one more season, season 10. You got to give it a good shot. And we control what happens with the show, guys. The viewers, if they watch, it's going to continue. If they don't watch, it's going to go away. But I still think that the season 8 finale had just under 8 million viewers live time. So cut that in half. You got 4 million viewers. People would still watch, and the show would still go on, I think, with 4 million viewers every Sunday. Maybe 3 to 4 million viewers still carries the show for a couple seasons. But either way, I don't want it to be watered down. I don't want it to suck. I want it to be quality entertainment. That's what we watch for. And stuff happens. We're going on 9 seasons of a zombie show. We would take that, right? I think I would take it. But The Walking Dead is a part of pop culture history, a big, huge phenomenon. And it reached so many high levels that it couldn't stay at that point, right? Budget, money, contracts, experience. It's just so many stuff happens for it too, so. Do you think Andy is in big cahoots with Colander during filming, and how do they or would they know? Yeah, it's a great question, Mike. I'm not sure how this news came about. Andy Lincoln could have told this to certain people, or certain people could have been in the room with Andy Lincoln, or the buzz could have been about there, because Andy Lincoln could have talked with Gimple, Kirkman, Nicotero, Angela Kang, and maybe one other person, or maybe a bunch of people. And then the word is going around that Andy's last season is there. And so then they find out, someone talks about it, and either sells the story or talks about the story. I've seen reports that comicbook.com has actually known about it since last season. So they didn't come out with it. But it's just crazy to think that we were going along, watching the news and the spoiler stuff come out, and they're filming and they're doing this stuff, and then Fear the Walking Dead was off on Sunday, Memorial Day Monday. Boom, Tuesday afternoon, the world exploded about an article saying that Andrew Lincoln is leaving the show. And it's here, and it's on the news, and it's that. We still haven't seen Andrew Lincoln talking about it. And you know that people are going to ask him that at San Diego Comic-Con. People are going to say that. So they have to be ready for it. Maybe if it's not true, AMC will have a thing to say about it, but I doubt it's not true, because AMC has not said anything about it, and we're coming up on close to a week when the news dropped. Maybe they like it. Maybe they're the ones that leaked it. Maybe they're building the suspense and the drama for us to watch the show on when it comes back in October. So we'll see what happens for it too. So yeah, Angela Kang, Ethan is Angela Kang's son. And I really like that when we saw Ethan with Glenn at the table in the season 7 premiere. Not sure we're going to see Ethan be the baby because he's probably way older now, older than that, because I think the baby we'll see Maggie have is a year old at the most. So I don't think Ethan is going to be able to play a 1-year-old because he's older than that now, but we'll see what happens with Maggie's baby. And that's going to be sad too. If Maggie dies or leaves, what happens with the baby? Glenn and Maggie are gone. Same thing with Judith potentially. What happens with Judith? Michonne take over as the caregiver now? I would assume so, but we'll see what happens and how it plays out. But it's a shame that, Rick could potentially be leaving Judith, and what happens with Judith. So what's up, MC? So thank you guys for joining me. I'll go for about another half hour on this Sunday, June 3rd. I got a lot of good stuff in the works for the channel, for the Fight For Us series. Book 7 is being edited as we speak, and I'm going to do more editing later today. It's going to be available in July. So if you are going to be in the book series, get your donations and in that for book 7. But if you want to be in the book series and we haven't already talked about it, book 8 is more likely the one for you guys. That's going to come out in November. And I have more ideas for that. So if you're interested in being that, let me know if you want to donate to be in it. Small part, big part, recurring part, whatever, we can talk about it. I already have some spots filled up, but we do it on Patreon and through PayPal for that. And I got to get my ideas together. And I already have a bunch of ideas. I just have to have names and stuff if people want to come there. So it's kind of tough if people want to be involved with that. So I'm interested for that. But the Fight for Us book series, book 7 and 8 will be out this year in July and then in November for that too. So let's see what you got for questions. Let me check it out. Sorry, Tudor. Do you think Maggie could kill Rick by accident and get exiled, leaving a chance for her return? That would be crappy. I wouldn't want to see that. I mean, it could, and never say never. They can do whatever they want. I mean, Carl got bit in the side that we didn't even see off camera, and he has been in the apocalypse for that, and he got for a thing that didn't make sense. So they can do whatever they want. The Maggie situation with her, Daryl, and Jesus being on one side versus Michonne and Rick could come around again. We could see that come around with Negan. I could see Maggie trying to kill Negan, and maybe she's accidentally taken out, or her and Rick get into a fault. If you know the comic, you know a thing that comes around with Rick accidentally killing someone. So that could happen, role reversal. That could happen in the comic to the show connection. I don't know. That would not set up good for that. I wouldn't want to see Maggie and Rick go against each other like that and cause conflict. But I understand that's an option, and it could be. People are saying, but I don't want to see that personally on there too. So, yeah, Michonne and Daryl and Carol and the smaller Alexandrian roles are going to be taking care of all the babies. So you got Gracie, Herschel, and if they go with Herschel, that's the comic baby for Maggie's baby. So if you got Gracie, Judith, and Herschel, that's 3 babies and 3 little ones to take care of, which is good. You got to rebuild civilization, and that's the thing on there too. So yeah, the Coral situation dying is not good. Big Sexy, I agree. That's just not smart writing. I feel like that didn't have to happen for it. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, Mike, I don't know. If comicbook.com, maybe they weren't allowed to say anything, and they were like, do not say anything or you'll be in trouble with that. Maybe comicbook.com got the information, and they didn't want to say anything because they have the in with The Walking Dead. They have interviews, and they set things up, and they talk with people, and they do, a lot of articles about The Walking Dead, and you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. And The Walking Dead is giving a lot of content for them, too. So, yeah, that's true, Boyd. If Maggie's baby is a girl, we're not sure if it's a boy or a girl, but I think the word is that it's a boy as of right now, but we're just not 100% sure. But we'll find out most likely in the episode 9 premiere. I'm excited for the trailer that's going to come out in San Diego Comic-Con this July, because it was awesome for season 7 trailer, especially with Shiva. That roar, man, that was one of the best parts of a trailer for The Walking Dead I've seen. And the trailer always sets the tone. The season 8 trailer was kind of weak with Daryl and the music and going around the bike, but I think I'm excited for the season 9. I want to see what happens. They got to have a little taste of the whispers or something, and I want to see something where the screen goes black and they're like, we whisper and they don't mind. And then a big thing or something, it'd be awesome. The trailer did do a really good job with it. So do you reckon Oceanside will stay or go back? I think Oceanside is going to be a big part of season 9, especially Cindy. I would love for Oceanside to be part of it. Maybe that's how Rick leaves. Maybe Rick's like, let's get on a boat, Judith. I'm going to take you around. We're going to go we're going to go sail the 7 seas and get out of this place and go over to Europe and see my brother. So we'll see what happens with it. There's so many things up in the air. I'm excited to find out. And that's kind of the intriguing part, is we just don't know. Anything can happen. So what do you think about Jesus this coming season? Will he stay passive or be him again? I don't want passive Jesus or passive Morgan or passive anybody. I want them to kick some butt. I want Jesus to be the comic character that we need on the show. And he can step it up. if he's martial arts master, taking people out and stepping up and taking out the saviors, not killing them, but harming them, protecting his group if they get out of line, for sure. We need to see that because the saviors are going to be a problem. Great question, Kelly. I'm not sure who's going to run the sanctuary, but that's going to probably be a problem for Rick, as we know from, if you've seen the other videos, the information we have about the filming for, the sanctuary and who was there. And they still have a problem with Rick. And actually someone is taking out the saviors. Some of them are living outside in the tent from the sanctuary, so it's not pretty protected there. But someone's taking them out, and we want to know who it is, why it is, what's going down. So maybe it's somebody like Magna or Sherry or something. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what's going on. What's up, Jan? Checking in. I would really like to see that Jesus Magic come from comic. Me too. I would love to see a lot of things happen from the comic to the show that we haven't seen. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know, Tudor, what Christian Serratos, who plays Rosita, she posts stuff all the time. So maybe it's an old picture. Maybe they're doing that too. So, yeah, I try to do, it's just getting the time to do a live stream here and there. It's just been kind of crazy with the summer stuff. Like next Sunday, I'm not going to be able to do a live stream because I'll be in Orlando. We're doing some stuff there. And for the next, I won't be able to do one this Sunday. And then the following Sunday I can. But then the following Sunday I can't. So it'll be pretty interesting for me to get back on track with the live streams. But it's just crazy to think that we have all this information for Season 9 and all these big topics. And usually the summer is really slow for the Walking Dead stuff. Even though we get great spoiler information and we share it year-round, there's been so much interest for this, for sure. So I'm excited for Walking Dead Season 9. Fear the Walking Dead tonight. I just hope John lives. I don't care about anything else. I just hope John lives. And I know there's going to be like, is Luciana going to kill Charlie? Nope, because we see Charlie with Morgan in a car driving somewhere or in the SWAT truck driving somewhere. So the kid Charlie lives. We'll see what's going on with that. So I'm not a big fan with that too. I want to see what happens with the Vultures and Mel, and I don't want to see Madison. I don't want to see Madison the second half of Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, but we'll see what happens with that. I just watched Blade Runner 2049 on HBO last night, and it was a super long movie. It was 2 hours and 46 minutes, and there's a couple characters besides the main characters in it. There's a couple people from Marvel stuff and other TV shows, and that's pretty cool, but I just didn't really think that movie needed to be 2 hours and 46 minutes. I like the idea of the connecting with the first movie and stuff there, but it's just kind of crazy too. So, well, yeah, I don't know, Big Sexy, but I'll try to be posting more and more videos for it. And The Walking Dead is going strong in my eyes too. So I'm excited to see what happens for the future of the show. And I hope that, I don't know what to make of the $20 million contract for Norman Reedus. I just feel like that's a lot of money for one person. And I don't like it when they do that in sports, when they pay one player so much money that the rest of the team gets scraps and it's kind of crappy. But $20 million is a lot of money to go to Norman Reedus. And if you could easily pay him that much money, you tell me you couldn't pay Lauren Cohan more money? That's just kind of crappy if that's true and that's what it was. But they're going to do what they do, and they have allegiances to certain things. But we'll see what connects the dots for The Walking Dead and AMC. And hopefully it goes on for a long time. Do you think Tara and Rosita will both be killed by the Whisperers? I don't know. That's a good question. Because Tara, she could die, she could stay. Rosita, same thing. If Maggie leaves, I think you have to keep Rosita. If Andrew Lincoln leaves, I think you got to keep Ezekiel. Tara, not sure what she's really bringing to the table, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be interesting with Tara, Yumiko, and Magna. We'll see what happens there too. So, yeah, that's a good point. If Norman Reedus's $20 million contract is for 20 episodes, which is, the episodes are 16. They do 16 episodes a season. So, if that would be probably, if they're filming now episode 3, I believe, they got episode 3 of season 9, and then you have 16 more episodes. That's, that's 19 episodes. But so it's roughly about that you would have season 10 could be the last season. And I would be okay with season 10 being the last one if it's not good and it's crappy and it's kind of weird. One thing just came into my head now. If anybody watched The Office, when Michael Scott left, the show was not that great, but it was decent. You still had Jim, you still had Dwight, you still had Pam, you still had Kevin, which is my favorite. Kevin, I love Kevin. You still had Stanley and Phyllis and all these characters, and they brought in James Spader and a bunch of people that to fill in the void, and it was kind of tried to hit or miss, and a lot more misses than hits. And then Andy Bernard, and all these people came in, and the show was still decent. I think it went on for 3 more seasons after Michael Scott, Steve Carell left, and it was worth watching. It wasn't the best, but it was still worth watching, and it was far better with him, and maybe the same thing happened. Maybe that still could be The Walking Dead. People are acting like it's going to be the worst show ever, and it's going to be terrible. There's still going to be zombies, and there's still going to be problems. There's still going to be civilization, and Daryl's still going to be on a motorcycle, and they're going to have this. So I think that, 2 seasons on there too, so that to be fine. So you could have, Rick leaves in season 9, and we get seasons 10 and 11, and it's over. I always said that would be probably 12 seasons at the max, so maybe that's the plan. So, but that's just my idea of it. We'll see what happens when it happens with it. So, yeah, Rosita and Eugene from the comics. We'll see and we got Eugene around there being some comic relief on there, and the Whispers could possibly come and cause all these problems. And you never know. We could get a new character out of the blue. We could have a new character in Magna's group. That could be awesome. Nobody thought we would get Jerry, and I love Jerry. He's one of the best characters the show has that is just for the show. He's one of the best characters as of season 7, for sure. But I'm excited to see. I don't know if the show's going to last, but that's not my time to tell. I'm just going to take the stride with it, and I'm not going to stop watching, and hopefully you don't too. But I'm excited for a lot of big things. Comic coming out next week, so it's coming out like 3 days, which is great. Fear the Walking Dead tonight, and then more Walking Dead news and more Walking Dead news. I haven't seen Solo, but I've heard it's pretty good. A lot of people have said that it's good, but not a lot of people have seen that movie. It's doing pretty poor in the box office, so not sure. I got my Incredibles 2 tickets. Going to see it not next weekend, but the weekend after that. And I'm excited for Incredibles 2. It looks to be pretty awesome with Jack and Dash and Violet and everything going there, picking up where it left off, even though that took 15 years to make for the second movie, which is crazy to think. And we're going to be doing more Disney stuff on there as well. So I got a bunch of stuff in the burner, and a lot of people are like, oh, The Walking Dead is this, and you only want the show because of your channel. No, I want the show to succeed because I love The Walking Dead, and I love the fans, the community, and my Walking Dead family, and my PT peeps for sure, and the Walking Dead news connection here, everything there too, and the Walking Dead channels on YouTube. It's just something to talk about, and it's awesome, and it's a love thing. I love talking about it. I talk about it at work. I talk about it with my parents, with my wife, with my friends, with stuff there too. So I think that is pretty awesome. No, Boyd, I haven't seen the trailer for House That Jack Built. I'm not sure what that's about. What I have seen the trailer so many times is for Hotel Artemis, and it actually looks pretty good. It's pretty different kind of concept. It's kind of like the John Wick feel of that hotel in that story, even though I'm excited for John Wick 3. How about you guys? Anyone seen that? If you haven't, definitely check out parts 1 and 2. It's definitely pretty awesome. So yeah, ride with Norman Reedus in the apocalypse. That would be kind of crazy. So I know that a lot of people are, questioning if it's going to work, but I think that it could, and we'll have to see. But Norman Reedus posted that picture of him and Daryl, of Daryl and Rick hugging at Hilltop, which is one of the best parts of season 7, I think. It's a small little thing, but I thought it was pretty good. And we'll see what happens with it. Norman Reedus also potentially, I think it's been confirmed that he's having a baby with Diane Kruger, so that's pretty cool. So we'll see if he gets a girl this time. He's got a boy, Mingus. We'll see what happens with him and Diane. Hopefully they stay together for a long time. Maybe they get married, and that would be pretty cool. She's been on the cruise with us at Walker Stalker, and she's been around, and they've been dating for a while now. So congratulations for that. I'm excited for them too. And we'll see Norman Reedus having another baby. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm excited for things, guys, and you should be. Hopefully you guys are doing some plans and doing some trips this summer, having a good summer vacation. I'll be going to some baseball games and going to Disney and a couple things here and there. And I'm not going to any conventions until October. I know they have Walker Stalker Orlando, but I'm going to Orlando this upcoming weekend, and then a weekend off, and then a weekend after that, and then we're going to get a Disney passes that are good for a couple months. So we're going to be doing that again later this year, and then we're going to Walker Stalker Atlanta in October. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys there for sure. But I'm going to go for about another 20 minutes, guys, talking about whatever you want to get your questions ready and do that. But I have a bunch of content in the burner filling up my queue there. I'm excited for Days Gone video game, whenever that comes out in probably early 2019 is the word. And then the Overkill's The Walking Dead video game. I want to see some gameplay. And E3 is this month of June. Hopefully we get to see some of that. And I want to see what's going on with some of the other video games, because I'm getting back into that for sure. And I'm on Twitch and a bunch of other things right now that I just haven't had time, because it's just tough being a homeowner and stuff like that. So yeah, Daryl finally showers, right? And I know people love to say that, but Norman Reedus likes to be dirty and put dirt on him and mud on him and everything. He always wants to be the dirtiest on screen. So I don't know if he's ever going to stop that look. So we'll see what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be tough. That's a great point, Tudor, that Norman Reedus and Andrew Lincoln are good friends. And that's going to be tough for the people that are there that stay on the show when Andy Lincoln leaves. Because if you watch on the PT channel, we have the panel of Norman Reedus and Andrew Lincoln together. That was my second Walker Stalker in Atlanta we went to see that panel. And they're like brothers, man. There's such a bromance there that it's awesome, and it's gonna be weird. It's gonna suck, and I don't think anybody's gonna be happy that Andrew Lincoln's leaving, and it's gonna suck for them too. And I think that needs to be represented on screen. Daryl needs to be sad about it. I know he was probably sad about Chandler Riggs, but I didn't feel that the actors and the characters were that sad about it on screen. They really didn't talk to Rick too much about it, except for Michonne, of course. She might have even took it more than Rick. But I want to see some emotion for that too. So, yeah, Mega Dr. Dre, a lot of people are saying that Michonne may leave and Carol this and that. We just don't know. Michonne is awesome. She's my favorite character, and I would be upset if she left. I mean, I'm upset that Andrew Lincoln's leaving, but if Michonne leaves, that's going to suck. And Denai Guerrera is awesome. She's a great actress, a great person, very awesome, gregarious, talking, sweet individual. And I think that she has a chance to go on and do big things. And she's already doing big things. She's hopefully making a lot of money on The Walking Dead. She's a playwright. She does all these things for Broadway. And hopefully she can continue her Marvel roles and her other movie roles and everything there too, in addition to being Michonne, who's a huge character. And if they can pay Norman Reedus $20 million, they can hopefully pay Denai Guerrera, Melissa McBride, Kari Payton, and a bunch of people that they want to keep on the show. And maybe they water it down. So instead of having 50 people, they got 28 people. So you have a bunch of cast that you don't need to see all the time. And it's tough because you have all these communities. You have the Hilltop, Alexandria, Kingdom. I'm not sure if we're going to see the Kingdom anymore, because there's been no word that they've been filming at Tyler Perry Studios. And I would love for them to do that, but there's just been no word. So we might just see more of the Sanctuary, Hilltop, Oceanside, and Alexandria, of course. So that's true. The Walking Dead has had many lawsuits, but none of that's been settled yet. They haven't had to pay any of that money. So they haven't had any losses in court. And maybe, I'm not sure what happened with John Bernecker, if they settled or anything. But from last thing I know with the couple of the lawsuits is that it's still pending. It's still going on. So we'll see what happens down the road, but it's going to be weighing on them. And I doubt The Walking Dead. I doubt AMC wants to get rid of The Walking Dead. So maybe they have more spin-off shows, they take a break and they come back, or what, because they own Raleigh Studios now. And if you own that studios, you got to keep making stuff to pay the bills, keep the lights on. If they don't, they're going to have to sell it, go away, and that would suck. So we'll see what happens with AMC down the road. And I'm not worried about it, but I definitely am kind of concerned about the future of the show. But I'm happy with getting 10 quality good seasons. I would love for 12, but if we have seasons 9 and 10 and then it's over, I think that's a good run. And maybe they take a huge long break and they come back and they have a reboot with things. Maybe they do things like, they always equated to, they would love to be like Star Trek. Star Trek had Star Trek and then Next Generation and then Voyager or something and the other stuff. And they even have a show on CBS now that Sonequa Martin Green is on. And so they keep rebooting and reinventing themselves. They have TV shows and they have movies and they have this and another movies and another thing. And they have a little different concept with the same kind of characters. So you could have a new Rick and a new Daryl and a new Carl on there too. Maybe they took a reboot in 5 years and The Walking Dead comes back. They could do it. I could see it. So, Kelly, that's going to happen with Gregory. Gregory, that should happen in the first episode is what the word is for sure. But I don't know what's happening with behind the scenes, but it takes its toll on a lot of people. And it's a shame that all these huge characters and actors on the show live in London or they live outside the United States. So if their family lives over there, they got to fly back home on there too. With Maggie and Rick and Morgan and Jesus and the governor. Those are 5. And that Jadis or Anne, that's 6 characters that are from Europe, which is crazy to think, on there. But we'll see what happens over the time with the show and the series. And I'm excited for it, guys. I'm not down in the dumps by any means. This has got me excited for season 9 to see how they do it, what they do, how they pull it off. And the writers got to get creative. You can do it. Maybe look outside the comic connection and the source material. That's why people like Fear the Walking Dead, evidently. There's no source material, so people think it's real life, and that's kind of crazy on there, too. So I think that it could work. Not to say that it's going to be great and it's going to be better, but it could still be good. And again, I don't care about the viewers and all that stuff, but if there's not enough viewers, then there's not enough things to keep it going, for sure. But anyone watch Better Call Saul? Because I think that show's great. Breaking Bad is great. Only lasted 5 seasons, which is fine. It was a great run. It's probably one of the best shows ever. Breaking Bad, awesome. Better Call Saul started off a little slow, but we're going to have season 4 this August. It starts up. Pretty cool stuff that it connects. I would love for that to be happening with The Walking Dead at some point. You do a prequel story, for sure. Thank you, Cruise Mama 99. Very cool stuff on there. Hopefully you'll be on the Walker Stalker cruise, the final cruise coming out next February for it. So Walker Stalker cruise, February 21st through the 25th. But yeah, exactly, Mega Dr. Dre. In the comics, you don't have to worry about nothing. You can be writing what you want, drawing people, what they look like, and how if it makes sense or not. The contracts are between the artist and the creators. On a show, there's actors, location, sets, production, cast, crew, all this stuff. And it's like a million times more expensive to have a TV show or a movie versus a comic book. So it's a big difference on there too. So it's crazy that it's lasting this long on there too. So very cool, Red Elastic 98. Thank you for joining me on there. Always good stuff on there. But yeah. Watch Billions? No, Mike, I don't know what Billions is. I watch, I don't even watch that much television anymore. I watch Fear the Walking Dead tonight. And then Tuesdays, I watch Little People, Big World. I love the roll-offs in Oregon. On Wednesday, I was watching Empire, but that's all for the season. On Thursdays, we watch Jersey Shore, as I'm from New Jersey, and they're kind of crazy, so it's kind of funny. Friday, you usually watch Netflix or something on there. Saturday, we've been watching movies, and then Sunday, we repeat that with Fear the Walking Dead or something on there too. So that's kind of what I've been watching mostly. And then I watch like Goldbergs and Modern Family, and that's really and then I watch Animal Kingdom on TNT. We watched that on Friday, And if you like kind of, it's a book series evidently, but Animal Kingdom on TNT, it just started the 3rd season on Tuesday. I watch it on demand on Fridays because we don't watch it actually on Tuesdays when it airs because there's so many other shows on, but it's pretty cool. No, I didn't watch Terror. I don't really watch too many other AMC shows. I don't watch, I watched a couple episodes of Preacher. It's okay. It's just not kind of my thing. I don't watch Into the Badlands. I don't really watch too much of that. I watched that one show, I forget what it's called, when they had the app on AMC and it was in Europe somewhere, and they were like 4 friends and they made all this money and they were trying to run this company. I think the show got canceled, and I didn't watch *Halt and Catch Fire*, but didn't really watch too much of those for it. So Tudor, thoughts on Daryl saving Rick from Alpha, but he's already dying. Last thing Rick sees is Maggie's head and demands revenge from Daryl. That would be pretty cool. Something like that is that it sets it up for Daryl to take revenge. So if Rick gets taken out by the Whisperers or Beta, and Rick would have to go out by like Beta, like a big fight between them. And Alpha comes in and does something, and you think it's over, and then she cuts into him and something. What's that? Would be kind of interesting. But Daryl is there and like gets on his motorcycle and like shoots at him, and the Whisperers get away, throws him on his bike, and they ride away, and Rick's dying by a tree, and he just can't, and Daryl's the one for it. And it's a big kind of a battle set up, and that Daryl and Michonne and them are going to avenge Rick. Who wouldn't want to watch that? That makes the most sense, that Rick goes down by the villains and the group and survivors are pissed. Let's go get revenge. Let's take these people out for our man Rick Grimes. That sounds like a win for me, baby. I would watch that and I would be excited to see. But, people are like, Rick leaves and Rick's gone, I'm out of here. which is crazy to think. But ultimately, probably nobody in this chat is going to be like that too. So it's just kind of crazy that people are already hating on the show before they do that. So it's just kind of annoying too. And then people just love to hate on people that are being positive with things too. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to be better without Rick, but it can still go on and it can still be good. I'm hoping, and I'm being a positive outlook on there too. Like, I don't want to be a negative person with it, especially for a TV show. And I just try to be truthful and positive and just have my own ideas, too, for sure. So, yeah, I think Angela Kang should do a good thing. And I think that she's already going to do big things. Big thangs for Angela Kang, stuff and thangs. But I think that Angela Kang is going to do a good job. She's inheriting a crap storm, that's for sure. It's not making it any easier for her to run a show with trying to kill off or get rid of or have Rick Grimes leave in a way that makes sense. So that's not going to be easy for anybody, for sure. And I think that Rick Grimes leaving or Andrew Lincoln leaving is being told to us for that reason. So imagine if we watched the show and we're like, Rick leaves or gets killed. And you're like, what are the writers doing? That is the stupidest thing ever. The writers messed up again. That is so dumb. And then Andrew Lincoln's on The Talking Dead. He's like, well, actually, it was my decision and I wanted to leave. And they're like, well, why didn't they keep him around? Why didn't they do this? Blah, 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 blah. And they're working on, crowd control and crisis control and management of the situation before it even happens. So we're kind of ready to happen this season. Now, will we know right away? Maybe. Will they let us know if this is going to be his final episode? Probably, because they want people to watch. But we'll see what they want to do for it. So I'm excited to find out how it works out when it does. But The Walking Dead has to end sometimes, and hopefully it's not for another season or two. We'll see what happens with Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, and the Sanctuary. The Saviors aren't going away, and we'll see what happens. What's going to happen with Dwight and Sherry and Heath? My wife just said that the arrangement, the show that the actress who played Sherry got canceled. So I guess that actress needs a job, right? So the actress who played Sherry can be back to reprise her role. Probably she was going to do it anyway this season, I would think, and I would hope. When's Heath going to show up? Hope so. But yeah, Kelly, I believe Alexandria is getting a windmill. I believe they started filming, or started filming. Well, they definitely started filming, but they started building it, the base and stuff, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of pictures when it goes up because it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be outside the walls or right inside the walls. I'm not sure 100%, but I'm sure it'll be visible and people will have tons of pictures and video of it. The spoilers are out. They're coming out more and more and more, and I'm excited. Season 9 looks pretty good, so I'm not hating on it. I think it'll be pretty awesome, even with, you know, the potentially Andrew Lincoln leaving and Lauren Cohan leaving as well. So, yeah, that would be kind of crazy to see Andrew Lincoln do something else, but I'm not sure how good things are for actors outside of The Walking Dead. Like, 999 wasn't that great with Norman Reedus, and a couple things just aren't that great with it, even though the Den of Thieves was pretty good with Jerry, and Morgan's been in a bunch of things, and Lauren Cohan's coming in another movie with Mark Wahlberg and Ronda Rousey and stuff. So we'll see. And then Denai Guerrero does a great job out there too. But Beth's shows have been pretty bad. Noah's been on a couple of shows that weren't that good. We'll see what Michael Cutlass is going to be in, and we'll see what happens with a bunch of people after the fact, where they go. I know Reg has been in a bunch of things too. So we'll see what happens too. So we'll see. Yeah, the great question. Great timing, Janet. Whiskey Cavalier, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Lauren Cohan's contract with that. Well, that would kind of suck if you were like, yeah, I'm only going to do this show for 6 episodes, and then I'm done, and then I'm going to do Whiskey Cavalier, and then done. Whiskey Cavalier gets canceled, and now what? Lauren, what are you going to do? You're probably made a ton of money and you can live off that the rest of your life, but people want to keep acting. People want to do things. So we'll see what happens too. So what's that new Zach Savior guy is having a beef with Daryl? Yeah, that's kind of what the word is that Zach, if it's him, if he's on there, it's not been 100% confirmed if Zach McGowan is a savior and he doesn't like Rick and he's got a problem with Daryl. So maybe he takes Rick out. Maybe they fight. Maybe the saviors rise up and they go against Rick, and Rick and Daryl have to go against them, and see Daryl's like, look, see what we should have done, man? Come on. So I think season 8, Daryl versus Rick might come back around in season 9, and we'll see. If Daryl's going to be the lead, there's got to be some situations where Rick's decisions are going to come back to bite him in the butt, and Daryl's going to be like, look, I told you, we should have taken these people out. I'm running things now. Let's get stuff done. Gets on his bike and rides out. And we'll see what happens for that too. So that's true. Great point, Mega Dr. Dre. Shane has had the most success by far. But Shane, I guess a lot of that stuff did come after. The Punisher for that too. Denai Guerrero has done a lot of things. And then Morgan, Lenny James has done a lot of things as well. And they have had some great success. And John Bernthal's a great guy. I know people hate the Shane character, or they love the Shane character. I kind of like the Shane character. But John Bernthal, I've met him on the cruise, and he was a regular cool guy, man. It's just like, it's a shame when people are acting. It's just like, they're acting. And some of these people are really awesome and really cool people, but they kind of get the feel that, oh, that character in real life is going to be the way they were in the show. And the actor, like, no, they're actually really cool. So, exactly, Janet. Arat could come around and be a pain in the butt. Laura, maybe there's someone else behind the scenes that's pulling the strings a little bit that kind of was like 4th in command, because if you had Negan, Simon, Dwight, and maybe a 4th or 5th person in command, we could see what happens. A lot of people are saying that they think Regina is dead, but I believe she got shot in the leg, fell to the ground. Rosita came in and shot the other 2 saviors, so Regina should still be alive. I think she would be alive. A we'll see what happens. But yeah, how do you go from Boondock Saints and Walking Dead to your own show, to 999? Which was a step back. Yeah, I think Boondock Saints 3 needs to happen. And I think there's been rumors that they're trying to do it, but they're going to do it with 2 new guys other than Norman Reedus. But I like the first 2 movies. The first one was definitely awesome, Boondock Saints, but the second one was not too bad with it. But, you know, Boondock Saints, that's pretty awesome. Awesome stuff. And that's kind of where I kind of knew Norman Reedus, and then also with Blade 2 for that, guys. So thank you guys for joining me this Sunday, June 3rd. Enjoy Fear the Walking Dead episode 407 tonight. I'll do a review of that, and make sure you get your TWD rewards points. If you're a member of the Walking Dead community, I'll probably post a code or 2 if I get it on there. Let me know your thoughts, guys, of the episode and all that good stuff. Hopefully Andrew Lincoln is leaving and it makes sense. We'll see. But to me, I think it's true. I think it's happening, and we'll see what happens for that for season 9. But I'm excited, guys, for it. How about you guys? Let me know your thoughts. Check out the other videos. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm sure you guys are all those things. But you guys are awesome. You truly are. And hopefully you got some goals and aspirations of whatever you want to do in life, whether it's a job or a career or painting or drawing or some sort of thing for it. You can do it, guys. Believe in yourself. If it's getting an education and going back, I truly mean that. You can do it. With hard work, dedication, and belief, you can achieve your goals, whatever your goals are. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. Believe in yourself. If you can dream it, you can do it. Thanks, guys.